Lead and Be Legendary presents A Name Tag is Necessary.
So the topics I thought about two, pretty much like on par with the same topic. So I guess you could kind of say it's like one topic, but just break it into two.
Okay.
And I randomly thought about this. What between Like Water for Chocolate and B, which of those would you say is your favorite Common album? Just between those two.
Damn. Why are you doing this to me? Like you asked this question with that is unfair.
Yeah, I know.
With no prep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that's not a tough one though.
To me, okay. Let me start off with saying my favorite Common album is the one that didn't sell.
Well, which one is that? Universal Mind Control?
They returned this album to the label because it was so bad.
Is it that one though? Is it UMC? Electric Circus?
Yes.
Dang, what? Oh no. You know what it was?
Electric Circus did not sell.
Wow, but you know what it was? That
it was way ahead of his time.
Nah, not even that.
Electric.
I feel like he spoke about that. No, Questlove talked about it, and I think during that time and granted, it was ahead of his time. That's a dope album.
If he released that album today, it would
Suits. Yeah, hell yeah. Suits were moving at the label at that time. I forget what label was that on. I could be looking it up now. But
because they were just talking about that in the Dilla book, and I don't remember.
Word. Yeah, Electric
Circus.
Circus.
But that and Phrenology came out at the same time. And then so did, I think, Black on Both Sides. And those were very left.
Yeah.
Of what we were listening to for Neo Soul and like the Soul Aquarians era. It was very left.
Yeah,
and
it was on Electric
Circus
Circus was on MCA. And at that time, like, they didn't really put much behind it. So that's why it kind of failed. Because it had some shit.
It had some heat. If he released the instrumentals to that today,
man,
put like Earth Gang and like JID over it, like just re-release and mixtape it was flat.
I usually don't like going with the singles as like one of my favorite joints, but Come Close is still like that's an amazing song. And Erotica, the joint that now that was Dilla, wasn't it? But wasn't Prince involved in that somehow?
They recorded it at Prince's Electric Lady.
Okay.
I believe that was recorded at the Electric Lady.
That was fire. And I forget the other one. I'm looking up the tracks on there now. And not to get sidetracked by my questioning, because you almost escaped it.
I almost did. Okay, so
yeah.
Electric Wire Hustle. I remember I got this album.
That's the one. Electric Wire, yeah, Hustle, yeah.
I remember
I played that album a lot.
Christmas shopping. And when I tell you, like, me and my mom, it used to be a tradition to go Christmas shopping Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Get everything in one day, wrap everything. And I got this album, and I played that album so much she knows the songs till this day. Yeah, man. It was a great time in my life.
Yeah, I used to play that album a whole lot, actually. Like, people would sleep on that one.
I got the right to Between Me.
That was one of the singles.
Yeah, Between Me and Liberation. I'm lying. My favorite, besides Electric Wire Hustle, I would have to say my favorite song on this album is I Am Music with Jill Scott.
Yeah. That was fire. I remember I called it Erotica. I correct myself, and it was called Star 69. That was Erotica. Yeah.
Okay, so you asked what's my favorite between what and what?
Like Water for Chocolate and B. Only because those were like he had dropped, you know what I'm saying, Like Water for Chocolate, and then it wasn't anything after that until B for Common. Both very dope albums.
Okay, that's hard. That's hard. You want to know why?
Because I know my answer off top.
Okay, let me tell you why I struggled with this question. Because Like Water for Chocolate was Dilla. Everything about that album.
Yeah. With the exception of who else produced like 2 joints?
I think No ID. Maybe.
And did Questlove have any of? He had some involvement. I mean, obviously the whole camp had some involvement on there, but that was more so. You might as well just say that was the Dilla.
But B gave us Kanye West.
Yeah. Well, Kanye West gave us the rebirth of Common in a sense, because like I say, You talking about when Like Water for Chocolate dropped? That was what, 2000, right? So after that, we kind of didn't really hear from Common rhyming. You know what I'm saying?
Like, damn, that's hard.
Until what we seen him here and there, but then we finally saw him again, like on the I want to say it was a Chappelle show. At least that's what I remember. So we talking about a whole like 4-year gap. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 year gap, and then it was.
So here's the thing: which album do I like more versus which album do I like?
If it came down to it,
Scheme 2.
Okay, how about this? You going on a road trip, and you only got one of those CDs you could take. Well, we ain't gonna say CDs, but
I'm gonna have to go with B.
Okay. And
that's a tough decision. Like, that's hard.
I'm kind of glad you picked B, because I was hoping. I said, man, I didn't give her no prep for this. So at the same time,
like, wait, no, I can't.
Come on now.
Like, Water for Chocolate. Let
me pull up this track list, man. Let me pull up this track list.
Murdered him.
We talking about Like Water for Chocolate. First off, we talking about time traveling. Top nigga, the questions. Classics on here.
Dog, listen, okay, it's hard.
It's hard. Not. Look, like what? Because my pick is Like Water for Chocolate. I'm biased to it because during that time, it was just like this around the time where I was familiar with the workings of Fantastic Volume 2. And this project as well, like finding out, just because this is where you had to find out stuff through magazines. It wasn't you know what I'm saying, or word of mouth by people that you knew. Like I say, with our connection to the folks at Barack Records, like what, like he working on a Common album, like finding out he was at his crib. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I'm biased to it. And then just when that album first came out, the cover art was fire. Like you gotta think B was just his face. We talking about Like Water for Chocolate. That metaphor alone.
Decision for me, but I might have to change it to Like Water for Chocolate.
I don't want to compare tracks because like one has more than the other. I think. Let me look at B. I'm looking. Like Water for Chocolate has 16. Yeah. B has 11. Now, one people could debate and go like B because it was like, you know, those albums with the shorter track list and be the ones they be like, yo, this is the classic, but it ain't no skips. It ain't really no skips on B
so
either.
Till this day,
it's okay if you want to rock with B.
Me and my homie in London will send the lyrics to the questions back and forth. Man. Like he will call me and we will rap this song to each other. Like this is hard because
why they say never when they know that ain't right, because say never you done said never twice. Why do I need ID to get ID?
If I had ID, I wouldn't need ID.
Yeah. It's like, did they freestyle that? Did they write? Like, I always wondered that.
Like they did.
I always wondered, did they freestyle that joint? Yeah.
If you answer the phone, peace, does that mean that you're not a freak?
Yeah. And it's funny, I didn't get that then. I didn't get it then until I got older. Like, you know what? Them chicks that be on that Peace, like Peace King, Peace
like
Grand Rising, they be freaks. Yeah.
But wait though. Also, okay, I'm lying. I would have to go with Like Water for Chocolate because I definitely
joints on there.
I go back to this album.
Check this out.
If I go back to this album,
it's the one I revisit. I revisit this way more than I do B. Now,
a film called Pimp is on my soundtrack to life.
This was wild with Like Water for Chocolate, and I'm glad you came around. You made the right decision. But Like Water for Chocolate, like I say, I was what, like maybe that was 2000, so I'm pretty sure I was coming out of 8th grade, going into the night. So it was like just, I don't know, just something about that. I probably had just started writing more, like coming into my own and recording on my little karaoke machine. And I don't know, it was just like, that's what I was on. That's what it was. Soul Aquarians was a thing. It was just, everything was just soulful, neo soul. Yeah, Soul Aquarians, my fault. Shame on me for that. But, and then at the same time with B, it's like I'm just coming out of high school. I'm driving more independent. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I don't know, but when it comes to like which songs I revisit more, just the album I revisit more, definitely Like Water for Chocolate.
Also, that was a switch in Common personality and lyrically too.
Yeah.
Like where he came out with kind of like the head nod bangers on Like Water for Chocolate, he had some head nod bangers on B, but we got to see like a more smoothed out comment after that.
Like Water for Chocolate though, that time traveling, that intro,
man,
he come on. You say he got ones that bring that shit. You say he got guns that bring that shit. You gonna need a lot more. What else? Cold Blooded was like cold. I don't think Dilla he did Cold Blooded too, but that wasn't one of my favorite ones on there. Doing It was fire. Primo did the Sixth Sense. That's what it was. Premier did the Sixth Sense with Bilal. Oh, come on now, the Sixth Sense. The joint when All Right plays. No, my fault. Not All Right. Funky for You with Jill Scott and Bilal. And I'm
definitely going through my common phase, which happens all the time. Like I'm pulling more songs from this album than I am from
absolutely.
Beat.
Absolutely.
Sure. But
like
Shy City on Beat is the bank for me.
Nag Champa. Come on now. We be that. Aphrodisiac. Yeah. Thelonious?
Okay, yeah.
Thelonious was the joint. Thelonious was the joint where we knew Dilla could spit, but it was like, yo,
he got this.
Funny dude, because really you think you could do me when you roll a 500. This really get 320. Should have let somebody else hook it. Numbers look crooked like King Kong shook it. Like, man, like when you said B, I looked, I said, she a damn lie. There's no way. I don't know many people within the Detroit hip hop scene that says B over Like Water for Chocolate. So I knew once I was like,
and here's the funny part. I think I got 2 copies of Like Water for Chocolate on wax. I think I have like the Vinyl Me Please, but I also have an original version. Man, you about to go. See, every time I talk to you,
the intro set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Time Traveling is just one of those intros. It set the tone of what we was gonna get from Like Water for Chocolate. B is a decent intro, but it just ain't fire. What's it that do?
But wait though, but the last song on Like Water for Chocolate, or wait, no, it's not, because that's pop rap. But Ghetto Heaven Part 2 is a banger.
Is that the one with Macy Gray?
Banger, yes.
See, I think on the streaming platforms now, unless you got like the hard copy vinyl or the CD or whatever, I think on the streaming services they only got Ghetto Heaven with Macy Gray. And I don't like the one with Macy Gray. The one with D'Angelo though, Ghetto Heaven, is fire. Yeah, I'm looking. Oh no, my bad. I'm wrong. They got Ghetto Heaven Part 2, which is the one with D'Angelo. But at one point on those platforms, it used to be the one with Macy Gray. I remember seeing it like, no, and I used to have to put the CD on just to hear the one I wanted to hear, or go to YouTube. Yep. Yeah, Ghetto Heaven, Searching Through Love, Throughout the Ghetto. You know, yep. Pop's rap at the end. A Song for Asada.
Man.
This album is a classic, but B is like that intro is like what sets the tone. I remember hearing the intro like, this is cool. The Corner was a single, that was cool. Faithful is good.
Last Pause was fire.
You know what it is too, like with Like Water for Chocolate, the mixes on there, while at the same time they were muddy, they still were crisp, and you got a good mix. Whereas of like on B, the mixes are cool, but it don't have that punch like Water for Chocolate does. Because
it's a different producer. Dirty Drums is all Dilla.
Yeah, and it's like you could tell Kanye tried. Like Kanye knew he was gonna be on here with Dilla. With him and Dilla was gonna have some joints, share some tracks on here. You have to read that book, but you can't pull that Dirty Drum without that. That's At
just
all.
Dilla thing.
Absolutely not. Like that's what I liked about B. I like the fact that they kept the food on there, the live version from the Chappelle show, because you had to. I like that they did that. The Corner was good. Go was good. Faithful is definitely good.
Testify was the one that everybody loved.
Testify was hard. Yeah, that was the main single.
Shot City is still a banger to me.
Love Is. Like Shot City is the one. The la 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 la. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Fly City, don't stop. Fly.
They say that's one of my favorite ones too, because of Kanye West verse solely. Because I remember they had one with Consequence on there, but they say I like Kanye's verse on there. Groupie love now, got to be them wheels. Haters back down, I got to be that. What he say? But God don't never give me nothing I can't handle, and please don't ever give me records I can't sample. Yeah, yeah. But hands down, like that's crazy. Maybe if B had 5 more tracks on there, like how like Water for Chocolate did. It probably could have, matched up. It still matches up pretty decent, but it's like, nah, like, and only because they both came out so close to each other, but nah, nope. Like Water for Chocolate, hands down. And my mistake, because earlier I said he didn't have anything out after like Water for Chocolate, and he did. The album was Electric Circus. And that's the one that you said, yeah. Because I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, I feel like he had something. Yeah, he did. He had Electric Circus. So it was like Water for Chocolate, Electric Circus, then B. Now, transition to my next. B was
like his comeback.
Yeah, it definitely was. It put him on a higher scale. Because after B, shit, he was in movies and, you know what I'm saying? He was doing movies and everything. This just took off from there. Though. He in Google commercials.
So, okay, so Nobody's Smiling dropped in 2014.
Yep.
That was my first time hearing Dreezy on a full verse that
Vince Staples
on TV, and Vince Staples.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody was used to Hollywood Common. And they forgot that Common had a beef. Like the bitch. And he came back and was like, y'all might think I'm nice. I'm not. I'm still a Southside Chicago nigga.
What was before Universal Mind Control? Then he had like the belief. What was it called? The Dreamer, the Believer.
Yeah, Dreamer, Believer.
Whatever. And then there was another one before that.
Was 2011.
What was Common? Let me see. I'm looking it up right now. He had. And he put out a lot of albums, man. Like Common got a lot of albums out. Okay, so he had. See, Nobody's Smiling for me. That's where it kind of dropped off a little bit. Like, all right, Common. Like I fucks with you, but yeah, it was Dreamer the Believer, and before that was Universal Mind Control. Finding Forever was the one that was like, all right, but it was like, it had a few, but not many to my liking. But yeah, it was right after Nobody's Smiling. Common can still go now.
But check it though, he been rapping since '92.
Yeah, talking about a while, long time.
He got 16 albums.
Yeah, he got a lot. Now that brings me to my my next question. Versus is pretty prominent now, obviously, and is more to me enjoyable now that they're doing the live performances. So I want to see what you would say if it came down to who would fit well against Common in a versus. Because he's a legend. We can't, you know what I'm saying?
My first thought is Mos Def.
Oh, I was about to say, don't you give me that standard Talia Kweli, because I know that's what everybody.
That would be my second. Because I would be like, yeah, Black Thought, but Black Thought body everybody to me, so.
Yeah, but see, Black Thought, that's, it's kind of like I guess you could say Black Thought.
Black Thought is the most perfect rapper since Rakim.
Common realistically since
we just talked about track for track.
If you really I'm saying track for track. Like if you think about it, Common has had joints out there that's been like people. I don't want to say that we don't know the other artist joints because we do. But if you talking about Common, he's always had one that was like, oh yeah, that's from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so we want track for track, like hit for hit, a fair battle because
a fair one for sure.
To shoot the fair one, it would have to be Talib Kweli.
You think Kweli got as many joints as Common to go?
No,
he definitely don't, and neither do most. They both dope, but
they both dope.
I'm gonna throw a wild card out there.
Because if it was Mos Def doesn't have.
Had a catalog like that.
Or you know what? It would be it's hard. It's hard because Q-Tip
will be in the line of like Black Thought. Because for one, they both are in groups, but also with Black Thought being in the Roots, he at the same time got a lot of solo Roots joints.
Mixtape
you know what I'm saying? So I could say Black Thought, but it's like Black Thought is one of those artists where I know he's fire. I know he's top tier. He's definitely in the top 10 for like elite MCs easily. But it's like it ain't too many verses that I can quote from Black Thought like that for whatever reason. However, I throw a wild card out there. It's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be like, what? You crazy? While all the talk with verses always comes out, man, if Jay-Z and Nas, I think Nas and Common would make sense against each other in the verses.
That makes sense.
Okay, perfect. I'm always nervous about that one.
But because toe to toe, yes, but apples to oranges too. Kind of. Because Nas got Uchiwali.
He does.
What does Common got to go against in Uchiwali besides
Universal Mind Control? Some joints for Universal Mind Control. We forgot about that album, man.
Not even.
Oh,
I'm talking about. Not even. That's why I said apples to oranges, because
that's
Common's
tough.
in a different lyrical category. Rhyming, lyrically.
But Nas got a lot of introspect. Like Common is more like the introspective type of MC. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Nas got just as many introspective joints.
True.
So you know what I'm saying? Like granted, Nas can go in the hit bag. You know what I'm saying? Give us the If I Ruled the World and everything, but it ain't like Common can't. You know what I'm saying? Like Common got the light. Do Nas got the light? He got some joints, but I'm just saying, like, that'll be a nice one. They both real kind of chill, but at the same time, they both still got a good stage presence.
That would actually be great to have them on. Like if Common did a feature with Nas while he has beats from Hit Boy, that'd be fire.
Yeah. I'd like to see that, because remember they had the joint Ghetto Dreams. Remember it was on the Dreamer and the Believer. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that album wrong. The Dreamer the Believer album. Let me see. That came out, it dropped in, because it wasn't Nobody Smiling.
Oh, yep. Yeah, Ghetto Dreams. Okay.
Track number 2, 2011.
It is Ghetto Dreams.
And everybody was saying then, like, yo, it'd be dope if they did a project together. And it never happened, but that project was dope. I mean, that song was dope. That song was dope.
I remember this, yeah.
Yep. So,
let me go ahead and add
this to my I thought about. That's the first track I thought about when I was like, you know what? Common and Nas could kind of fare well against each other. Because, like, versus they had some mismatches in there for me. Like, for example, Rick Ross and 2 Chainz.
My last verses was the best one they had.
With the Lox and Dipset?
No.
Which one?
No, it was T-Pain and Lil Jon.
Oh man, I think, and I got another. Okay, and not to go too far off subject, I think because everybody always say, who could Missy go against? Well, I would say Missy and T-Pain. We talking about 2 producers. They both have written for other people. At least we know more of Missy's catalog of who she's written for more than we would T-Pain, but he's written for folks. He sings, he a rap. That's sings, fair. She a rap. I always thought that would have been fair. So like when he went against Lil Jon, I said I get it, but at the same time, I think like if they were to go back around and bring back like people to go against like proper matchups, I think that would be a good one. And like just like with Busta, like Busta and Missy is like, yeah, y'all talking about videos. We talking about like catalog song for song, and like it's really tough kind of matching somebody up against Busta. You know what I'm saying? When you talking about energy, catalog, that it's a tough one. I can never really sit back and think of one. Like people say I was like, no. T.I., you know, nope. I think he called out T.I. or Vice. I forget which way it happened, but it was supposed to be a T.I. versus Busta, but T.I. said something along the lines of it was as far as like who came out, or like Busta came out way before T.I., so he was kind of saying that's not fair, but it was like it could have worked, but it was like nah. Like T.I. versus Jeezy would have been a better one. But with Busta, is like it ain't really too many you can match up against that guy. Especially if we talking about now they performing live. That's tough.
Like that would be anybody against him would be unfair because he's been in the game so long.
Yeah. I personally would have said Ludacris. Because I didn't think the Nelly and Ludacris matchup was great. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I get it. They're like, oh, they both like these popular, you know, they so platinum. It's like, I get it, but it was like, nah, man, that should have been like, that should have been Busta and Luda, but it is what it is. But yeah, I would definitely say,
but like our conversation before, Busta falls into so many time categories because he's been rapping for so long. So it's hard to place him in there. And be fair with who's being placed there.
Tough.
So, nah,